What's going on, y'all? I want to give you my review of Roli Studio. So, Roli Studio consists of two plugins, Roli Drums, which I have on the left, and Roli Player, which I have on the right. And Roli is known for, they're one of the few companies that support MPE. And what MPE is MIDI polyphonic expressions. And what this does is it allows you to control multiple parameters of every note within an MPE compatible software as well as MPE hardware, which Roli makes keyboards and a system that they call blocks as well that you can use to control this. I do not have any of the Roli hardware. I'm using Nectar LX49 and a PreSonus Atom to control this. So opening this up and using this, it immediately was very easy to use. One of the easiest, or I will say the easiest, virtual instrument that I've ever used, really. And when things are easy to use, they're typically fun to use as well. And I've had a lot of fun using Roli Studio drums and players. So, we'll start with the drums, which is here on the left. You've got your familiar 16 pad layout here. One thing that you'll notice here is that you don't have choke groups and there's not a lot of settings that you have available to you. But each pad has different parameters that you can change. So this snare has a delay, pitch, tone, and depending on which pad you have, you'll have different parameters that you can change there. Down here we have effects. These are the effects that you can add to each pad or the overall all pads. And on the left here you have your kits. So I think we got like 14 kits here. And then under parts are each individual samples where you can use these to build your own kits. You cannot add your own sounds to this. You have to use what's available here. And I will say that the 14 kits, while I've been able to find usable sounds and I like the sounds in here for the drums, I do feel that this is a limited number of drum kits that you get available here. Let's look over at Roli Studio Player. Again, very easy to use. Everything is laid out very nicely. I can just look at this and quickly I get it. This chord, smart chords here, is the easiest smart chords that I've ever used. I'm just going to play the keyboard here. So once you turn this on and you select your scale, which you can set here, and here you've got thirds. You can bring it down to fifth. So for example, E, if I hit an E, it's going to play 11th, bring it back down to third, triad. And so each note in your scale you can customize of how you want to play. You can choose the type of scale here. This is really easy to use. You can add the bass note, auto invert it. And this strum is pretty cool. So doing this with a piano, it'll still strum, but if I slide this way just a little bit, so you can see it'll either strum up or down. The arpeggiator, really easy to use. Again, you've got some presets here. You can adjust the swing. And you'll notice here that you don't have attack, decay, release, sustain. You don't get that. But like with the drum pads, each sound that you select, you have different parameters that you can change. And this parameter here, we've got motion speed. High pass filter. And like the drums over here, you have an effects section as well that you can add effects. So looking at when you go to explore sounds, before we get into that, so this comes with 3 instruments: cipher, equator, strobe 2, and you've got your list of sounds here, and you'll notice the orange and blue. Your orange is your standard sounds, and the blue is the MPE sounds. So you can filter between those very easily. Clicking explore sounds gives you a nice way to search between them all here based on what you're looking for. So again, keep saying it, but very easy to use. The sounds in here, are okay to me. I feel like I'm missing something in using them, and I realize that missing something is the Roli hardware. I've had so much fun using this that I will be purchasing some of the Roli hardware to use with this, because it just unlocks the potential to do so much more with the sounds that you have here. So I will say that, like the drum kits, I do feel like I can just scroll down quickly through all. Well, actually, you're looking at kind of 2 sets of sounds. So the standard in MPE, some of the sounds like the acoustic piano you'll see under standard, but you won't see it under MPE. But some of these sounds like analog ensemble pad, you'll notice are both MPE and standard. We'll just look at the standard for a second. This is the library here. It's not that many sounds. So this isn't something that I feel is going to be like your one and only virtual instrument. I think this is a really good add-on to what you may already have. There are expansion packs from Roli that you can purchase that I think they're like $20 to $25, which isn't that bad for expansion packs. But I will say, with what comes with it, it's just, as far as the library, I feel we could get more. I just feel like it's a little lacking on it. I can go through these sounds pretty quickly. But with the Roli hardware and using the MPE, using what you can do with MPE with the Roli hardware and these sounds, you can really morph these and warp them into many different sounds. So with that aspect, it doesn't make the library seem limited. But if you don't have an MPE controller, then I do feel like this library is limited. Okay, so let's get into, I'm going to close this and I'm going to play you a track that I made using Roli Studio and Roli drums. And there's really only one bad thing that I can say about this right now, and I'm actually waiting to hear back from support. But I'm going to play this track and then we'll get into that. So this is the track I made using all of Roli Player and Roli drums. Okay, and I want to step back and go to the drums because I want to show you something. You can do this with all the sounds, but something like the kick drum. Let's see. So something like this pitch up. I can record this, and it's almost like automation. I can record this. I can hit record. I can move this pitch up, and that'll get recorded into my recording. So with this pitch up, this is the tone I get. And with it down, distortion. So you can do this in real time. This goes for all the sounds. So that's another way that you can also just create different sounds and different things that you can do with the sounds in here and using these different parameters. So back to the track. So it actually didn't do it that time. I'm gonna play it one more time. Actually, I'm just gonna solo it. The issue that I'm having is when it loops, it plays fine initially, but when it loops, it cuts off that first initial note. I'm gonna solo the piano and just play that and see if it does it here. Okay, it's actually functioning correctly now. Let's try this sound. This is funny. So it's working right now. So that's good, but I haven't found out what's causing it to do it. I'm just gonna hit play on the whole track one more time and see if it does it. But yeah, it cuts off the initial hit of the first note on the loop. Now, kind of my workaround has been for this is to bounce it to audio once I'm done doing what I do. And when I bounce it to audio, that's fine. It's just the loop that's not playing correctly. Let's try it one more time. Okay, so yeah, that's really crazy. It's playing right now, which it hasn't done really the whole time since I've been using this. I hit record and do a review video, and now it's working fine. So um, I wish y'all could hear that. Just so I'd like to see if anyone else is having issues with that. But like I said, when I bounce it to audio, everything is there. It doesn't cut it off, so that's good. But that's my review of Roli Studio Player and Roli Studio Drums. Again, this is very easy and very fun to use. And I'm going to hold out until Black Friday because I'm hoping there'll be a sale on the hardware then and get the songwriting kit, which comes with the blocks and the keyboard. So, this software is so fun and easy to use that it's made me want the hardware. So lastly, let's talk about the price. So Roli Studio Player is $99. You can get this from Plugin Boutique, and I have a link in the description for that. So $99, not a bad price to me if you get this and the drums as well. But again, I wouldn't expect this to be my only virtual instrument. Like, this is a great add-on, in my opinion, to what you have already. But again, fun and easy to use is what I keep saying about it. And I can't wait to see what Roli does, maybe with a future update from here, and see what else they come out with. Because yeah, this is really cool. All right, any questions, comments? Let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time. I want to invite everyone to check out my new podcast, the Faders Up Podcast. It's a podcast about pro audio. I've got me and 3 other Nashville professionals. We're discussing pro audio topics, pro audio lifestyle. And it's available on Apple Podcasts and it's available on Spotify. So check it out, rate it, let me know what you think.